they scream so loud. The big sky stretching past the clouds. Frozen rivers break their chains. Saskatchewan's got the bigger dreams. Canada's grip, it holds too tight, but the South it calls in the dead of night. Fields of wheat, they yearn for more. A better deal just past that door. Canada's grip, it holds too tight, but the South it calls in the dead of night. Fields of wheat, they yearn for more. A better deal just past that door. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. USA, your destiny. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny. Taxes high, they weigh us down. Promises lost in Ottawa's town. We've been forgotten, left to fade. Time to rewrite the deal we made. Mountains far we've never seen. We're just the land where the cold is mean. But freedom south where the sun does shine. It's time to take what should be mine. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny. Oh, Saskatchewan, break the line. Cross the border, leave behind. Stars and stripes, they'll set you free. The USA, your destiny.
Greenland invited to the embrace. Welcome, welcome, Greenland 4rab. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land, seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. Mountains rise, frozen veins feed. Shifting tides, sowing the seed. North sky fire burns so high. Joining hands under shared sky. Welcome, welcome, Greenland 4rab. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land, seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. Can freeze. Strength and spirit, lands and seas. Borders fade like melting snow. Together stronger, onwards go. Welcome, welcome, Greenland 4rab. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land, seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. King, no crown, ice can freeze. Strength in spirit, lands and seas. Borders fade like melting snow. Together stronger, onwards go. Welcome, welcome, Greenland 4rab. Stars and stripes, your story told. Unite the land, seas far and wide. We'll walk together side by side. Together
Good morning. Welcome to the NPC show. Deprogramming the world one NPC at a time. I'm your host, Frank. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2026. Boy, I'm behind, but I'm only like a minute behind. So that's a start. We got a long show today, by the way, guys. A long show today. Long show followed by a long watch party. Not really long watch party, but there are some pieces of news that are not YouTube friendly. So I got to talk about it over on Rumby. It's got to do with kind of with AI sort of informing us about what's the truth about some things. And they're all in consensus about it. And involving something that they require kids to take to go to school in some states. And how bad it is for you. Oh, and by the way, it was sent to me by a retired nurse, Nurse Sharon. Or Jillian, I'm sorry. Oh, man. It's okay. You already let people know what your real name was anyways. Ah, boy. Way to dox someone, Frank. No, I'm kidding. It's already published. You let people know her real name already. On a very specific platform where we engage in piracy, full-blown piracy. We watch movies and prawn. I'm kidding, we don't watch prawn. It's bizarre. They allow you to like engage in piracy, but not prawn. Can't do prawn. Not on Foxhole, yeah. Christian owned. The two developers, the two Matthews. Very Christian name, Matthew. Now you know why prawn is not allowed on Foxhole. Can you imagine if they did? Like, whoa, hold on, guys. I thought this is a Christian-owned thing. Like, Give me 1 second. I'm almost done. I am almost done spamming. There we go. Ready to go? We're good to go. All right, here we go. Hello, guys. Where we at? YouTube. Let's go to YouTube first. Hello. Oh, by the way, today's Phoebe Flanagan's birthday. Happy birthday, Phoebe Flanagan. Flanagan again. Anyways. Thank you for being here. Thank you for happy birthday. All right. Hello, Sherry, Carrie, Barry. Good to see you. Daisy, Fire Truck, Zach, Mary, Howling Man, Sherry, Becky. Good to see you. Mary, another Mary right there. Here's Derek, Kristen, Mr. Null, Victoria, Becky again, Lisa again. Hello to you. Oh, no worries. I hope you're. I think you were sick. Were you, Lisa? Well, I hope you're feeling better. No worries. Yeah, I always see you in the comments on the reruns. So thank you very much, dear. Mr. Knoll, hello to you, Charlene. Off to Rumble, we've got Josie, David. Oh, by the way, David, thank you very much for the donation. Just got that. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, David. You're awesome. Oh, man, I am behind. I got 7 new notifications. Good Lord. Let me say hello to everyone first. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you, David. Hello, Mary. Lisa Chafin. Good to see you. Hello, Creedy. Hello, Campbell. We've got Daisy. Josie, there's Jillian. There she is, Nurse Jillian. She sent me the one about the AI and the jabs. Yeah, all like there's like 4 major AI machines that are all in consensus about a certain thing that we were required to take as Americans. And by the way, Canada doesn't even take that many, but we do. And it is a major contributor to that. Yeah. I gotta talk around things. so the YouTube machine doesn't catch me. Yeah. Oh, let's add that to the show. That looks good. Hello, Casey Bauer. Good to see you. Hello to everyone over on Foxhole. Thank you very much, Curious Cat and Donna. Thank you for your donations. Thank you, Curious Cat and Donna. Thank you too. You two are awesome. Anywho, let me clear out these. Hello, Pedro. Hello, I wanna Chapalapa Ding Dong. I can't pronounce your name. Victoria. Good to see you. Hello, Megan. Good morning to Megan. Okay, cool. So we've got, it's quite a long show. And then we've got some news that can't be talked about on YouTube for obvious reasons. Because they're still running cover for Big Pharma. And we know that they are in full effect. Because they just sued Bobby Jr. to reinstate the jabs. All of them. Every single one your kid's ever been required to take. All reinstated. Yeah, isn't that bullshit? Yes, it's just a guidance, and actually a lot of states. I would say like I don't know how many states. Like half the states don't actually require you to take it, but in blue states they do. They require you to take it because they get their donations from Big Pharma. Oh, what is this? Okay, cool. So let me check notifications real quick because Well, this is right now, so let's look at this. Trump signed an executive order preserving the traditional time slot on the second Saturday of December exclusively for the Army-Navy game. Okay, well, that's football related. That's a Friday executive order. You know, we're all going off for the weekend. Here we go.
Pen. This is not a roto pen. Imagine taking it and say, would you please have this signed by? Somehow, I don't know how they got by that, but it didn't work. Let's go.
Okay, good stuff. Anyways, so that's that. What else is new here? Khamenei says enemies defeated in written message. Really? Because last I checked, you guys can't even export much oil anymore. I think 80% of it's crippled now. What is this one? Oh yeah, he's presenting the trophy. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy. It goes to the winner of the Army-Navy game. So that's happening right now. I don't know why I didn't get a notification for that. Are you guys not streaming? What's going on? We can add that to the end of the show, I suppose. No, they're not live. They're not live. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. There it is. Save to watch later. Okay, we'll add that. We'll add that to our watch parta. Let's see. We'll add that to like the end, since it's not exactly. It's sports news. I mean, I'm like, whatever, right? And then we'll add the China one after that. Good. Okay, so we're all ready to go then. Postal watch party is going to be Trump's dinner with the Japanese Prime Minister yesterday. Joshua Phillip, why beef prices are out of control. Chris Chappell on China banned Rubio. What's the matter? You don't like Mexicans or what? Come on, they're not all bad. And we got the Commander-in-Chief trophy presentation and then the EO. And then that's it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. There's another thing. We'll put that one before the China video. The $100 billion plan to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. Apparently, people have been hearing what I've been saying. That's great. Yeah, that canal. They're talking about a canal. Yeah, I guess it's more fitting. It's not very mountainous there. Not like Norway. Anyways. Hello, guys. Where are we at? So we got that one. NATO's a paper tiger. We got the... Oh, Chuck Norris is gone. Yeah, I forgot about that. No. I don't have a sad... I don't know. There's no sound effect I had that's like sad, but not mocking. So I'm not going to play anything. Yeah. NATO says... Iraqi mission relocated to Europe, whatever that means. You guys don't have an army. What are you guys going to do there? Oh, we'll ask the Americans. We'll ask the stupid Americans to fight for us. Yes. Anyways. Okay, cool. So we already got all that covered. Anyways. Hello to Amber. Good to see Amber popping in. Hello, Clyde. Good to see you. And Jim. Good to see you. And Yanna. Good to see you, dear. What a beautiful 2-year shield you got there. I got to make a three-year one. I gotta figure that out. Yeah, because that's the last one. I didn't think anyone was ever gonna get that. But thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Would have been sooner, but I didn't open up memberships until like 2023, because YouTube wasn't they weren't paying me when the first year I started. Yeah. Anyways, let's get going. First story of the day: Norway's crown princess says, "I was manipulated and betrayed by Epstein." Yeah. Which sounds a lot like what every girl has said about all her ex-boyfriends, right? He manipulated me. Look, this is what the general consensus about how we feel about her. It's funny how like other people in your country are under investigation, but you're not. Meanwhile, you are caught on an email celebrating with Epstein about sterilizing the world. Crown Princess of Norway. Yeah. That's awful. That's awful. What an awful person. Let's watch. Okay, add that one to my personal watch list. What is this one? More notifications. Iranian missile. Okay, got it. What is this? A fragment. Okay, got it. Whatever. Okay, cool. Anyways, Crown Princess of Norway. She's always women are always victims. Yeah, women are always victims. We know that. Yeah, telling you. Dude, I've dated I'll say the only Mexican girl I've ever dated, okay, carried a different personality whether she was only with me or among other people. When other people are around and I'm there, she acts all meek and like that, right? But when she's just with me, she's like regular chatty. And then when she's with them, she's like regular chatty. But when other people are around to see me near her, she puts on this thing. That way she can like be a victim later. Okay. We never made it past 2 dates. Okay. There was never much going on to that. But again, these are what these chicks do. Okay. They like to victimize themselves. That way they can write on the internet about you. Oh yeah, he did this and that. He was abusive. Oh my God, how often did he beat you? Oh no, he was verbally abusive. By the way, she said that about her ex, not me. I had very little to do with her. We went out twice and that was it. And I was like, okay, I'm done. And we're not interested in this weird teeter-totter victimization personality. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'll pass. Thank you. You know, before it gets too serious and it's like it's harder to get out of that shit. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'll just pass. Thank you. Anyways. Yeah, a lot of chicks like to do this shit. They're always victims. Like, seriously, go look at TikTok. But by the way, Taylor the Fiend. Okay, a great TikTok. Oh, by the way, another channel I found, Lady J, the letter J. Lady J, she scours TikTok. She finds videos of these said victims. They're always victimizing themselves, right? Oh, there's always something wrong. They're always the victim. And it's just like, well, why can't you pick better guys? It's probably more likely that nothing actually happened and they're just being a victim, okay? But Lady J, oh, she's great. She's a very attractive grown woman. She finds these videos and she rebutes them like all fucking days. Freaking awesome. Yeah, great channel there. And Taylor the Fiend's a guy from Australia. But when you hear it from a woman, it's just like, oh yeah. She knows exactly what she knows exactly my story here, you know? But anyways, stay away from millennial bitches. Go get yourself a Gen Xer like Joanne right there with perfect tatas. She beat breast cancer 2 years ago. Look at that. Breast cancer gone. Anyways, next story. Yesterday we talked about a civil rights activist named Cesar Chavez, and by civil rights, this is the earlier names for what we know today as DEI. In the 90s, it was called affirmative action. Even before that, it was called civil rights, and it was all used to glorify brown and black people, okay, prop them up on top of society. They're all victims, like that one Mexican chick I was just talking about. They're all victims. Everyone's got to give all your money to them and be their slaves because they're victims and you're privileged or whatever, right? And it all started from this, okay? Anyways, Cesar Chavez, a civil rights activist, right? We talked yesterday. We covered a story about him banging a bunch of little girls in his circle. Okay, if you worked for someone near him, if you were ever near around him or whatever, you were forced to bang them. Yeah. And by the way, his victims are coming forward in their older age. I think they're 50 right now. And they're coming forward about it. Well, anyways, LA is upset with him and has removed his statue. Look at this.
Breaking news here in San Fernando. We just found out that the city is removing this statue honoring Cesar Chavez. An officer came up to us to tell us they were bringing in a backhoe and removing the statue, and you can see it being lifted up into the air right now. And the mayor mentioned that he is in support of more removals of his likeness, including
the mayor. But we're talking about Karen Bass. Yeah, we know blacks and Mexicans don't get along, right? So perfect two to pit against one another, huh?
Changes to streets and schools and scholarships, anything honoring Cesar Chavez, he is in support.
They're going to remove scholarships in schools in his name as well. Wow. Did you ever mention why? ABC7? Huh? ABC7 who likes to cover for your friends? Huh? Anyways. Next story. Caesar is the Greek pronunciation. His name was Cesar. Yeah. Dumbass. Who is this guy? It's your first day here and you're miscorrecting my pronunciations. Good Lord. Anyways. No. He's not Greek, he's Spanish. This is not Little Caesars. This is not Caesar's Palace. It's Cesar. That's how they pronounce it. And I want to get, you always have to pronounce it properly when they're criminals so people will know what race the criminal is. Now, if they're a good person and they're a leftist, you know, not one minute, if they're a leftist, they're not a good person. If they are not a Republican, but they're not evil, then you mispronounce their name, like Hernandez, right? Hernandez, you got to add that Southern twang to all the Hispanic names. They love it. They love it. They love it. But it's pronounced Cesar. And why? Because I'm from Los Angeles and I heard all the beaners pronounce it like that. You know how they always over pronounce everything? Oh, Cesar Chavez. Right? Yeah. Meanwhile, they butcher all the Chinese names. Fucking assholes. Anyways, Sarah Huckabee was turfed out of an Arkansas restaurant after staff felt uncomfortable by her political views. You know what you got to do, Sarah Sanders? You have to call Harmeet Dillon. Okay, she is the assistant AG of the U.S. She is responsible for human rights violations. And she will make sure that your political views are respected by this restaurant by bringing forward a very hefty investigation into them in which they will have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on lawyers to defend themselves against. Yeah, that's how you do it. I'm telling you, hit them in the pocket. But you guys are not. Take a page off of Kash Patel's wife. Okay, that was a bit overboard. I was like, wow. Yeah, take a page off of Kash Patel's wife. Okay, people are defaming you. People are violating your basic civil rights. You file lawsuits. You know where I got that idea from? From the Democrats. They do it all the time. They do it all the time for reasons that are not even valid. Okay. Like, oh yeah, this person says that he believes that an unborn is still a life you got to protect. Oh, that's hate speech. You hate satanists and abortionists. That's not what that is. But they'll say that, right? I'm telling you. And then they'll sue you. And they'll sue you into submission. And this is why Republicans can't seem to get an endorsement from any Christian or gun organizations. Because they'll lose their tax exemption statuses. Meanwhile, Islamists can go ahead and just trash white people and trash conservatives and trash Christians and burn their churches all fucking day long, and it's not a problem. No one sues them for anything. And why? It's because you guys need to grow some balls and start suing people. And once you start doing that, by the way, you don't even have to take away the licenses from the CNN and ABC and NBC. You don't have to take their licenses away if they keep lying. What you do is you keep suing them because their money is coming from somewhere. It's coming from the CCP. It's coming from Neville Singham. It's coming from Mark Bray, from the head of Antifa. It's coming from George Soros. Okay, bleed them dry, sue them into oblivion. Have a team of lawyers watch every show. Okay. And grill every single thing they ever say. You identify every single lie and you issue a lawsuit. First of all, you'd have to issue a retraction first. And then if they refuse to comply with that retraction, then you could sue them. So it's a long process. But imagine half of their show being legal notices, like The View. Remember The View? That did do legal notices 5 days in a row because what's-her-face couldn't shut up about Matt Gaetz. Remember that? They were calling him a pedo. Meanwhile, it's like no one was willing to sue him for those charges because they know it'll go into discovery and they will be thoroughly embarrassed and countersued. Yeah. Anyways, you guys need to start filing lawsuits. You're always on the defensive, Republicans. Next story. Woke mob justice backfires. 2 anti-ICE activists are convicted of felony stalking after terrorizing federal agents and their families in a live streamed hunt. Look at that. Wow, these are the 2, huh? Anything for La Raza, huh? What are their names? Ashley Brown of Colorado and Cynthia Regoza. You gotta drag that. Oh, they love it. It's called Enunciation. Cynthia Regoza, okay, of California. They're guilty after the pair tracked ICE deportation officer all the way to the federal building in LA, from the federal building in LA to his home, live streaming their pursuit. That was your big mistake right there. Anything for the grams, huh? Anything for likes, clicks, and shares and retweets, huh? What did they get? What's their sentence? What do I do? Let's search up the word years. 5 years. Wow, their sentencing is on June 8th and they're facing up to 5 years. Congratulations. You did it. You did it. You made it big, Ragoza. Ragoza. Next story. Mamdani's wife is not only a rabid anti-Semitic Islamic fanatic, but she's also homophobic and uses the N-word. Wow. Well, you know, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Oh man. Oh man. Anyways, she's also she previously volunteered to be a suey sizzle boomer, meaning you strap the kabooms on your chest and you go run somewhere and you go bam, you press the button and everyone blows up with you. Yeah, she wanted to do that. Wow, she's quoted saying, "If it does good for my cause, I will be happy to accept passing." Wow, you are a rock star. I don't know, man. I'm mixed about her now, you know? It's like, one, it's like, she doesn't like gays and blacks, but at the same time, she exercises free speech, right?
The N-word.
She's a wash for me today. I don't know what to think about her. I'm kidding. You shouldn't use that word. It's not nice. Next story. Ooh, Joe Kent has been found to have been a registered Democrat until 2021. Wow. And in fact, in the Democrat primary, he voted for Bernie Sanders. Oh, look at that, guys. Wow. Now I wonder who picked him. Was it Tulsi? Or was it Trump? He did work under Tulsi, right? Yeah. So in other words, instead of voting for the liberal, he voted for the communist. The literal opposite of a liberal, by the way. Holy shit. You know, you guys see why the liberals are now becoming Republicans? There's nothing about the Democrat Party that stands for freedom and liberty anymore. Holy shit. They represent the same values of countries that throw gay people off of buildings. That's the Democrat Party now. Yeah. I'm telling you, I hope he goes down for treason. You know, not even just because he shared top secret information, classified information. You guys realize Tucker Carlson may actually be in trouble here. Yeah. Holy shit. Wow. Anyways, this guy is something else. Next story. In the meantime, DHS has continued to keep airport TSA unfunded.
Behind the camera this morning.
Here's some lines.
Roger, give them the.
This is at Atlanta International Airport, the busiest airport in the country. Someone said.
Thousands and thousands of travelers just trying to get through the main TSA checkpoint.
Hey, I got a question for all of you in those lines. Did you vote for this? Did you vote for a Democrat representative to represent you in D.C. and vote to shut down the DHS? Huh? Last I checked, Georgia does indeed have 2 Democrat senators, right? And 2 Democrat senators definitely voted no to fund the DHS. Yeah. How about this city over here? LaGuardia International. This is New York City. Definitely liberal Democrat senators, right? Look at that. So we got 2 in Georgia. We got 2 in New York. New York might have, do they have even 1 Democrat or 1 Republican senator? No, right? They're both Democrats. Yeah. So we got 4 senators now who are Democrats in states with dying airports here who definitely voted to unfund the TSA, and it's causing these lines. Okay. How about this state here? Houston. Oh, Houston's got Republicans, but you might actually get that Tallarico guy. Yeah. Because last I checked, the SAVE Act hasn't been passed, and Texas has lots of Mexicans voting.
Is all the TSA line.
Wow! Congratulations.
The line where you get your ID and boarding pass checked is all the way up there.
Make sure Tallarico gets in there. We can expand this. We can make this a whole sector. Can you imagine, like, hey, guys, you guys are not thinking out of the box, okay? Here's what you gotta do. You got to start a new business sector. Okay, all of you travelers here, you probably make a lot of money laundering government money or whatever, because these are all Democrat counties anyways. You're making all that money. Why don't you use that money to hire someone to stand in line for you beginning the night before? That way, when you get to the airport and out 90 minutes before your flight, you simply switch places with them and you're in line. You can start a business doing this, but you're not. Why? Why? Because you want people to suffer. Huh? You want people to suffer. That's a great idea, by the way. Next story. James Coleman has been subpoenaed. I know we're not too excited about this because he's been subpoenaed before and nothing happened. This time it's in Florida. Oh, Florida, guys. Yeah. If do nothing Pam ain't gonna do shit about it, Florida will. Yeah. Well, let's see. No. Subpoenaed over the road. Is this Florida? I saw somewhere else that this is in Florida, not in DC, because the DC one ain't going anywhere. So I believe this is, unless this is a different article than what I read earlier. I think it's Florida. Anyways, I don't see any information about that. All I see is a reiteration of what we already know. Thank you for the 7-year-old information, Christina Layla. I guess it's good to kind of review this stuff, right? Anyways, Florida, there it is, Southern District of Florida, by U.S. Attorney the Southern District of Florida AG Jason Reddy Quinones. Next story. Trump vindicated again. Forbes values Mar-a-Lago at a massive $560 million. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's not just a concrete. It's not just the tiles. It's not just the gold decor. It's the history behind this property here, and that there's only one in the world. Yeah, made by a food tycoon, Marjorie Post, daughter of C.W. Post, the guy who made Post cereal, the guy who went to Kellogg's a sanitarium, stole his recipe for this invention called cereal, and then mass produced it and sold it on the market, and beat him to it. Yeah. Anywho, so victory there. Next story. MSNBC is cutting some news shows to focus on anti-Trump resistance programming. Yeah, which is funny. This is the literal opposite of what they did years ago. Remember Rachel Madcow used to be on every night of the week. Not every night, Monday through Friday, and then they cut that down to like once a week, and then they cut that off completely, because these personalities are too expensive. They didn't have the money to keep affording them, because in a recession, the first thing corporations cut is advertising and marketing. Okay, and so that includes ads, commercials, YouTube, pre-rolls, things like that. That gets cut first. And so when that happens, they're like, oh, we can't afford Rachel now because she costs more than the entire news staff, including the on-the-street journalists with the car insurance, the camera crew, all their wages of about $45,000 a year. They don't make much, by the way, the news crew people. They do it because it's fun. There's a lot of privilege in it. But they went from doing that. Now they're going to bring her back. Is that her? Is that Danny Tanner as a woman? Anyways, so that's what they're doing. They're going to go into politics again. Like, good luck with that. You should have put that money into ballot harvesting. Considering the SAVE Act ain't passing. Next story. A muckraker investigates California's election fraud. They said foreigners from Africa encourage ballot petition fraud. This is in addition to, where's muckraker? I think this is muckraker right there. But James O'Keefe did one as well, the expose from James O'Keefe. Now we got another one out of muckraker.
All right, guys, I'm with my good friend and colleague Jonathan Cho. I got a phone call from James O'Keefe telling me that he was able to uncover individuals working for nonprofits here in the state of California tabling on Skid Row and registering people to vote in exchange for money, cigarettes, and marijuana.
Yeah, rock stars everywhere. Yeah, you tell them. Well, I know exactly where this is.
Whoever got it, I'm knocking their head off.
This used to be somewhat sprawling. Look at that. Available. Oh, you can't see that. Look at that space. It says available because no one's using it anymore. Then this one's also shut off right there. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. This used to be a, you know, like a Hispanic market area, and now it's all homeless trash.
Let's go. Thank you.
Wow. Anyhow, you guys get the idea. Next story. Tulsi Gabbard confirms the seizure of voting machines in Puerto Rico. Ooh. Lockdown and secure ODNI facility for forensic audit. They're going to be auditing these machines. I don't know how you're going to reverse engineer it. I mean, unless you have access to the code, you're not going to be able to figure out what it does. You know what I mean? I would be willing to bet that if let's say if they just test ran it and they ran the machine and just started 100 ballots, 50 Republican, 50 Democrat, and you ran all the ballots, it'll come up properly, right? But at certain times of the year, say, I don't know, first 2 weeks in November, you run those same ballots to test it, and guess what? It starts flipping 1 out of every 4 votes from Democrat to Republican. I don't know, unless you have access to get into the code, yeah, to actually figure out what it does. There's so many ways to safeguard against their cheat. Better yet, do what France does. Just do paper ballots, and then multiple precincts. Everyone just count their own precinct and escalate on up the information. That's how they do it. Wow, liquid meth found on Southern California border. New York State trooper injured after being struck by a mammal wreck. What the hell is that? Anyways, whatever. It's crazy how much local news a national media thing will put out. So it's so localized. It's like, anyways, next story. Yesterday, Iran put down 3 people. These are 3 Iranian wrestlers. This is just 3 of many that they've put down. Again, resistance is illegal in this country. This guy's a champion wrestler. Okay, and Iran's doing it again. They're putting people down just for disagreeing with them. Okay, and yeah, it's they're still doing it. This guy right here, Bobby Green. He's a UFC fighter. I believe he was actually competing and he did bad. I think he lost, and they're asking him why, like what happened, and he's trying to explain that because of this story here, you know, he was his head was not in the right place. And he couldn't focus and he lost.
Had a few minutes to digest. Now I'd just like to hear your evaluation of your performance.
Can I curse? No.
Yeah, you can.
Fucking terrible. I felt it was terrible. I felt I was off. I don't know. I just felt like I was out of it. I don't know why. Sometimes we have bad nights, I guess. Tonight was my bad night, you know, where I was just like, what's the matter with you? Like, hit him. Like, catch him after that hand, you know? What are you doing? I was just really in my head a lot, you know? Like, you got to show that terrible freaking thing with Naveed, and it just fucked me up, you know.
Naveed's a champion wrestler.
Oh, you really just crushed me today. Like somebody lost their life today, you know. Somebody lost their life today. I don't know if that means much to y'all, but that means a lot to me. You know, that's a part of our community. I'm a wrestler. That guy was a wrestling coach. He changed people's lives, and he just lost his life. Yeah. Fucking sad.
We saw you emotional on the broadcast. I was going to ask you.
the liberal media is like, you're not on question. You can't be talking badly about the IRGC. We support them. We're paid to support them by Neville Singham because they're China's oil.
Emotional on the broadcast. I was going to ask you, how much do you think that affected you in there? Just saying that right before.
I'm not going to lie. It fucked me up, man. Like, fuck. I just can't believe a dude lost his life for protesting. You know, the same stuff we do over here. Like, I thought Dana was going to save him. When Dana comes out and says something, you know, I thought Dana's so big, they're going to save that kid. Like, I didn't even worry about it. And then you guys shocked me with that shit? Oh, my God. Like, fuck. That just fucked me up today, bro. I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Thank you for speaking out about it, Bobby Green. Next story. Saudi Arabia is threatening military action against Iran. Yeah, because they are being cunty. They're firing missiles at everyone. They're trying to fire all their missiles before the rocket launchers are destroyed. So they're like, oh, we don't have as many targets that we thought. We just fire all of them. Go ahead, fire all of them.
It doesn't believe in talking to its neighbors. It tries to pressure its neighbors. And what I can say categorically That's not going to work. The kingdom is not going to succumb to pressure. And on the contrary, this pressure will backfire. Will backfire politically, will backfire, I believe, morally.
Dude, the allies are all being redrawn. Isn't that crazy?
And certainly, as
these are Ukrainian allies now. Think about that for a second. They were Russian allies not too long ago, but because Russia's helping Iran with intel, and actually, I think a lot of the rockets are Russian rockets. So
we have stated quite clearly, we have reserved the right to take military actions if deemed necessary.
Yeah.
And
a great time for it.
If the time comes, the leadership of the kingdom will take the necessary decision. We will not shy away from protecting our country and our economic resources. And the main point here is that the Iranians continue to target economic resources and continue to attack the livelihoods of ordinary Saudis. You know, when I see an attack today, 2 refineries in Riyadh were attacked. What's the purpose of that? What possible military purpose can?
Yeah, the purpose of it is Iran's just being a bunch of brats. They're in their death screen right now. When a monster's about to get slaughtered, they kick and flail and they destroy anything that they can before they're taken out. That's what they're doing.
You have for attacking a refinery in a non-combatant.
It's like cutting the head off of a turkey, right? The body just keeps going.
So the Iranians will have to understand that this has consequences.
Yeah, good stuff. And here's some more consequences. Oh, by the way, Australia, their prime minister was insulted and forced out of a mosque by furious Muslims. And this is because of their support in this operation with us. They joined with, remember they made that statement that they're going to be helping Japan and a couple of other nations to secure the Strait of Hormuz. And again, the Iranian, the Islamic Australians are not happy with that. And they know why. Okay, because Iran is the head of their snake. You cut the head off, the whole religion begins to retract just a little bit. And this is what I'm telling you guys, all you Islamists, this is what you get. This is what you get for teaching your kids to stab our kids in school. Okay, this is what you get for teaching your kids to throw rocks at white women streaming live streaming on New Year's Eve in Germany, which actually happened, by the way, because her hair wasn't covered. They literally threw rocks at her. 2 people threw a rock at her. Yeah. On live stream. I covered it here. Yeah. And you know why she did it? She did it to prove that, oh, it's safe to walk around by yourself as a woman in the town square of Germany, in Munich or whatever the hell she was. Meanwhile, you weren't by yourself. You were with a camera crew. If you were by yourself with no cameras around and no crew, no security guards, you'd probably be pregnant by now and have a brown baby on the way. Huh? Anyways, so this is what's going on in Australia. They can't even defend themselves anymore. Their own prime minister kicked out of a prime minister who's very welcoming to these people, and they kicked him out. So I'm telling you, all these countries that are going to be helping us, they're all going to be facing attacks of their own. Japan especially, they've got. I was surprised at how many immigrants that Japan had. Yeah, a lot of blacks, a lot of Islamists out there. It's not even Japan anymore. So much crime now in Japan. Yeah, you gotta. I'll tell you, Takaichi, you need to start legalizing guns in Japan, so that the light colored people can defend themselves against attackers. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? Use a knife? You know how hard it is to stab someone? You got to get around the bone and shit. It's hard to get a vital organ to disable them. You know what I mean? You gotta and then you get stuck between 2 ribs, and it's you gotta tap it in, you know what I mean? It's stabbing someone's hard, especially if you don't have arm strength. 100% of women don't, right? Holy shit. Any story? Switzerland says that they are no longer going to be exporting war materials to the U.S. God, you have no army. Okay? The only countries in Europe that have a respectable army is like Poland and like maybe Hungary. Even though Hungary's got no oil now, no energy. That's funny. This guy writes like this. Oh no, what are we going to do without these? Oh man, I'm telling you. Hey, Switzerland, how about you stop exporting your politics, huh? You know, the ones that are dictated by the World Economic Forum, headquartered in Davos, Switzerland. Yeah. How about you stop harboring global terrorists, specifically ones named Klaus Schwab? How about that? How about you turn George Soros over to us instead of harboring him? Huh? Why do your politicians have gun rights for your whole country, but they want to take it away from every other country in the world? Why is that? Huh. Anyways. Switzerland, another useless country. Next story. Viktor Orban is pissed off at Zelensky. Zelensky basically keeps destroying the oil pipelines from Russia to Hungary. Hungary, again, not a wealthy country, doesn't have an option. They need oil, period. They need energy, right? And if they were to use like European oil, guess what? It's going to be very expensive. And that's going to cause lots of inflation within their country. And then they would have an economic collapse, okay? So they needed the Russian oil, but Zelensky keeps disabling the pipeline, whether he destroys it or whether he, whether he destroys it or whether he, what is this? Anyways, let's go ahead and get rid of you. Thank you very much. This is existential for us. Orban tortures Zelensky. And by the way, he didn't just get mad at Zelensky. He blocked a loan. Yeah. The EU was going to send a loan out to Ukraine, $100 billion. And he's like, nah. Hey, you block our oil. We don't have money to give no more. It's the wrong accent, I know, but it's fine. So that's what Viktor Orban's doing. In the meantime, Ukraine is going to be fine because they just made new friends in the Middle East. Look at that. Ukraine is deploying military specialists not just to Saudi Arabia, but also to the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and I'm going to say also probably Bahrain next, okay? They probably just haven't gotten around to Bahrain, but Bahrain's also got a lot of money. And he's helping them, teaching them how to deter these drones coming in from Iran. Why? Because they're the same drones that Russia sends to Ukraine. And Ukraine has had 3 years of practice and development and training in deterring these drones, right? And so, as a result, this is funny. This is not real, okay? This is AI generated. That's Zelensky as a homeless person. Oh shit! Let's play this. This is not real, okay? This is AI. I'm pretty sure.
Ебав я, то мені до того. Перебати, махнебили мозги, бати.
I don't know what he's yelling about, but I think this is probably a face swap video. And this might actually be an actual pissed off homeless person yelling about something. That's hilarious. Anyways, so isn't that crazy? You put them in war. I mean, guys, this is a country. Ukraine is a country that was nothing but a wheat harvesting, money laundering country. That's it. They produce nothing but inventory for traffickers. Okay, they have very hot women who will do anything for money. Right? And now they are literally military experts now. I for a long time I've always wondered, like, what's taking Russia so long to take all of Ukraine by now? I would have expected them to wipe out all of Ukraine, take everything. I thought by now they would have moved their capital of Kiev to Lviv on their western border, because Russia would have taken Lviv by now. They haven't even taken all of the Donbass region yet. And now they partnered up. Ukraine is partnering up with the Middle East. They're exchanging technology with their drones, and then in exchange they need money, and they want new technology for them to combat with. So again, remember, they wanted to purchase Tomahawk cruise missiles from Trump. Trump said no. Now we know why. It's because we need it for ourselves. If Saudi Arabia, if any of these other countries have their own, you betcha that they are going to be for sale. Okay, these are countries, by the way, that were more friendly with Russia than they were with us 2 years ago. Actually, 2 months ago. Okay, a lot changed because Iran started attacking them. And Russia's providing Iran with intel, and China's providing Iran with money by buying their oil on the black market that is being laundered through Malaysia. All right. So very interesting here. Very interesting things that are happening here. I'll tell you this: with all the talk about NATO being dissolved or whatever, would not be surprised. I'll tell you this: if NATO gets dissolved, Poland, Ukraine, Hungary, Turkey, and these Middle Eastern countries could very well form their own little NATO. Okay, maybe a Middle East NATO. Was it North Atlantic? Middle East TO, whatever it stands for. But it's going to be interesting how everything's shuffling around, you know, all because Iran wanted to be a bunch of brats. Well, all you had to do was promise you we're going to make a nuke and give us all your uranium to swear off of it, right? No, you want to be tough. You could have just agreed to it. You could have just agreed and says, yeah, we won't make nukes. Here's all uranium. And then you already have all your people in all of our countries. They're stabbing all our kids. They're robbing us. They're living off a SNAP. They're taking they're doing a daycare fraud all over our country. You could have had all that, you know, but no, you wanted tomahawks up your ass instead. So, anyways. So interesting how the decks are being. By the way, here's footage of a Ukrainian drone taking out a Russian chopper. Okay, here we go. Turn that down a little bit. Look at that. That's the Russian chopper. Bam! Look at that. Isn't that crazy? A chopper versus a drone. You have casualties. This chopper's probably like millions of dollars versus one of these cheaper drones. Boom, gone. That's crazy. Now you know why Zelensky doesn't want to make a deal. It's because they're not doing that bad, surprisingly. I thought they were dunzos, and now they're buddies with all the Middle Eastern countries. Holy shit. Next story. The Frenchies accidentally gave off the location of their was it their aircraft carrier? What is it? Aircraft carrier. Wow, it's a pretty important boat there. Because one of the officers had an app called Strava, and Strava is one of those fitness apps. It tracks your steps and whatnot, right? Unfortunately, it's always uploaded as well. Yeah. Strava, if you're not aware, Strava at some point made their like a heat map of where everyone's stepping. Everyone's making their steps. They're biking. They're swimming. Whatever they're doing, and it gave away a lot of secret locations in Antarctica. Yeah, Antarctica. There was one path. See the little squiggly line that is moving. Which, by the way, I don't know why it's squiggly like this. You know what I mean? Is the aircraft carrier making loops or what? What's going on? But in Australia, there were paths in Antarctica, where the penguins are. There were paths that made a perfect oval, like it was some sort of like a jogging track, like an Olympic track, you know, that you jog on. It looked like that on Antarctica. We're like, what the hell is this? You know? So very interesting. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, get with the program, please. You're gonna give off our location accidentally. Holy crap! Next story. Oh, the Frenchies and the Brits detained a Russian Shadow Fleet tanker. Look at that. Oh. Wow. Yeah. See what happens when you're chummy with the United States and we change the rules to benefit you? Now you get to steal oil. Huh? You know, from sanctioned oil tankers, right? Now you can steal oil. You guys got to stop being so chummy with China. Those guys make all the rules that are difficult against you. You're not going to get to steal any Russian oil here. But with us, you do, right? Free oil. That's how you do it. Good stuff. Anyways, congratulations on the heist. Next story. Denmark is prepared to destroy Greenland's airfields and sabotage key infrastructure amid fears of U.S. takeover. So you guys remember when they sent troops out to Greenland? They were in fatigues for whatever reason, but they were also coming. They were coming off of commercial flights. and we laughed at them. Apparently that was a reconnaissance trip. They went out there to go verify a variety of locations that they could hit, that they wanted to make sure that whatever Google Maps that they have, the little images, satellite images that they have, they wanted to verify that that was all correct. So they wanted to find all these critical infrastructure places like energy pipelines, bridges, things like that, airports. They want to see the runways, what's there and what can be hit. And that was last year, right? And in January, they did a military exercise. Okay, and that was apparently an excuse for them to get explosives onto the island. Yeah. So that's in accordance to new intel reports. By the way, there was a standoff apparently between us and them. But that's been quashed. And it doesn't look like we're going to get Greenland anymore. It seemed more like Trump did this so that they will step up security of Greenland, because they're letting the whole island be swamped by China and Russian boats. So at least they're there now. Yeah. Many countries here. What is it? Is this a bunch of countries? Denmark, several other countries. They're all there. Germany, France, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. They're all there now. And they're all there. It's no longer a standoff. They're actually working alongside us now to defend Greenland. So I don't think Greenland will ever become a state at this point. I think Cuba has a better chance. But again, Trump said that we're pretty much getting everything we wanted, which was we want to be able to mine the we wanted to mine the rare earth, right? And then also we wanted military presence there, and they're helping with military. So we're getting everything we wanted. But here's the better part. Here's the best part about Greenland not becoming a state. If Greenland becomes a state, they are entitled to minimum wage. If they are entitled to minimum wage, it's going to make rare earth very expensive. Okay, so what we need to do is make sure that their currency remains very weak, and that they can crank out a lot of rare earth and sell it to us at a price that is very cheap dollar wise. Okay, because if they use our currency, the greenback or the blueback, whatever you want to call it now, if they use our currency, then rare earth is going to be pretty expensive. And that's what, by the way, why Trump made all these deals with these African countries to buy the rare earth that they mine. So because rare earth is not rare, it's everywhere. It's just that the processing, it's very, it creates a lot of pollution, which again, Lee Zeldin won't be too happy with. And then also any incoming administration, especially a liberal, would wreck that industry. They'll say, shut it down, it's too smoky here, you know? So what we need to do is create that in countries that are specifically islands, where when they pollute, it just blows off into the ocean and goes away. That's funny, look at that. This is a stream of gets pollution there. That's interesting. Is that water or air? I think that's air, or I think that's water. Wow, you guys are making a mess out there. Anyways, they don't have an EPA, and if they become a state, they will, right? So be good that they don't ever do an EPA. You know, we'll get those icebreakers out. We'll get the North Atlantic trade route, and Greenland will be secure. But that's basically what that was about. They're prepared to basically destroy infrastructure if we took it over. Yeah. Isn't that fucked up? People live there. People live on Greenland. 50,000 people live on Greenland. They're willing to destroy critical infrastructure just so that we don't get it. Yeah. That's our allies for you there, huh? Anyways, next story. A UN rapporteur, I don't know why you spell it like that, condemns Trump and says Somalia leads on human rights. Yeah. That's a laugh. That's a laugh. Somalia, the southern end of Somalia anyways, completely led by radical Islamists. They literally live off of the money Ilhan Omar steals for them. And he's telling us Somalia is the best in human rights. Okay. Right. Says the most tyrannical organization who has had, by the way, tens of thousands of complaints by African children who have been banged by officials from the UN. Yeah, they show up with crackers and water bottles, and they're like, "Oh, you thirsty? You want some agua? Yeah. How about you give me a blowjay first? I'll give you this water." That's what they do, guys. Yeah, the UN, very disgusting. I mean, look at him. Does he not look like the type of guy that would do that? Yes, The answer is yes. And if you look like that, please stop fucking children. Thank you. I'm kidding. But yes, the UN is awful. They're an awful organization. They're like 10% humanitarian, 90% pedos. They're literally out there just to exploit impoverished countries. Yeah. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Now you know why so many people got mad at Mr. Beast for providing free water for Africans. Because they were using it to trade for blowjays. Yeah. Yeah. Next story. Trump tweeted us this morning. He says, without the USA, NATO is a paper tiger. That is correct. They don't want to join the fight to stop a nuclear-powered Iran because they're a bunch of bitches. And he says now that fight is militarily won with very little danger for them. They complain about the high oil prices they are forced to pay, but don't want to help open the Strait of Hormuz. A simple military maneuver that is the single reason for the high oil prices. So easy for them to do with so little risk. Cowards. Yeah. And we will remember. And I hope, oops, I'm sorry. And I hope you do. Because I'm telling you, we need to leave. And those countries I listed earlier, Ukraine, Poland, Hungary, Turkey, and all those four or five Middle Eastern countries, they need to make their own NATO. North Atlantic Trade Alliance? I don't know what the fuck it is, NATO. Anyways, you guys, I'm sure you find a better acronym than that. Next story. The president of Costa Rica, his name is Rodrigo Chavez. He stated that he does not recognize the government of Cuba as legitimate and announced the closure of his embassy in Havana. Good stuff. Thank you for joining the fight and the pressure to stop this tyrannical regime in Cuba. Yeah, hopefully we'll make a deal soon. 51st state Cuba, 51st state Venezuela. Whichever one's first. Yeah? We should give a bonus to the one that goes first, you know? That way they'll all rush to get it. You know? First one to join as a 51st state gets a how much would you say of an infrastructure grant they should be granted? Those two countries, $1 trillion, $100 billion, 10 billion. You know, consider that we are buying land here. Okay, so we get it as a state. They get money. They have to spend it on infrastructure. You know. Things like that. In the chat, type it up. What do you guys think? What do you guys guess should be a good amount? By the way, it brings us to our poll of the day. Do you think Greenland will ever be part of the USA? 28% he says yes soon. They are making a deal, right? But I don't hear anything about statehood. Not even from Trump anymore, by the way, about statehood. Yeah. Denmark wants to make sure they have Greenland because they want to sell it to China one day. 36% you say yes, but not the 51st state. 12% says yes when Europe collapses, and 25% says no, they're trapped with Denmark. I'm now with Denmark after reading that story. I should redo the poll. Let's redo the poll. Let's copy that real quick. Let's end the poll. Let's create a new poll. Anyways. YouTube needs an option to like resurvey the poll. Yes, soon. Island Eagle. Yes, but not the 51st state. Yes, when Europe collapses. I suppose it could be a 51st state when Europe collapses, right? What is going on? Oh, wrong button. Hourglass and no, they're stuck with Denmark. Let's do a rainbow emoji because those guys are foogs. There we go. It's a new poll. All right, what's everyone think about for a grant to become a state? Wow, no one has a guess, huh? $1 trillion, $1 billion, nothing like that. No one's guessing. Well, screw you guys. Anyways, let's get going. Next story. A U.S. server maker named Supermicro. By the way, very chummy with the CCP. These guys, this is the same company, by the way, who were suspected of implanting chips that basically allow China to spy on the said server. Okay, and he targeted Supermicro specifically because they are a server board manufacturer. They make boards that use the Pentium Xenons, the Ryzen Epic, Ryzen Threadrippers, things like that. Those very high-end CPUs that are thousands of dollars, okay? Because they're meant for servers. They care about servers because that's where all the top secret stuff is. Huh? Top secret stuff. This guy has been arrested for smuggling $2.5 billion in machines and high-end NVIDIA AI chips to China. Oh, wow. Supermicro's co-founder, huh? His name is Yixian Liao. Wow. So now you know why. Now you know why when Jensen here, he invented the H20, which is a watered-down H200 for China to buy. They were like, nah, we don't need them. They're trying to pretend like they're using Huawei chips for AI, but no, they have the H200s. Wasn't difficult for them to get. They got it through this company here. Question is, was Jensen compliant with that, right? Anyways, wow, so that's interesting that this guy actually got arrested. Oh, me so sorry. Next story. 2 bot networks behind major attacks have been shut down. This was a joint effort with Germany, US, and Canada. And here's the problem with this article. It's written by Insider Liars, okay? And Insider Liars, I read this whole article, does not anywhere on there mention what country is responsible for these botnets. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Hold on. Wow, hold on. I almost bought one of these yesterday. The botnet is a network of computers or connected devices that have been infected with malware and are controlled secretly by an operator who uses them for malicious purposes like attacks or data theft. International operation consisted of a network of several million compromised online devices such as routers, webcams. The second is associated with a group called Kimwolf, but again, they don't mention what country. The Kimwolf botnet is involved with several million infected devices, primarily Android TV boxes. I just heard about this yesterday on ROTC. They were talking about this box called the Super Box, which, by the way, if you don't know how the Super Box works, it's just hardware, okay? You buy the hardware. It's totally legal. The hardware can channel into a variety of signals all over the internet that basically someone out there buys pay-per-view, and they'll buy all the sports channels and all the other channels, you know, HDTV or whatever, right? They have every channel out there, and then they spit it out to the internet, okay, from somewhere else, from some other country that we can't get to. You have this box, and you can tap into these signals. You can watch just about anything. Yeah, and I think it's like a $400 to $450 device, and I would be interested to know if it still works right now, because I almost bought one yesterday. I was like, oh, so because we do me, Jill, and Freya, and we all of us, we hang out on Foxhole, wonderful Foxhole over here, and we do movie nights. You know, we actually buy/rent the movies, and we watch movies together. You know, like a movie night. I almost bought the box because I was just kind of like, okay, $450, we'll never have to buy another movie again. You know, it's not illegal for you to use the box, but it is illegal for them to be broadcasting it the way they are. But they did it anyways. So you're telling me this botnet's taken down? I would be interested to know if those super boxes still work. Yeah, because this botnet apparently just got taken down. I don't know. This is today's article though, March 20th. 6:05 a.m. A joint effort by U.S., German, and Canadian cybercrime specialists. Wow. Does anyone here use the Superbox? I just heard about it yesterday from ROTC. It's a show that I watch. And it's like, oh yeah, just get the Superbox. Kathy says yes. Wait, so Kathy, you use the Superbox and you're saying it still works? Huh. Anyways, oh, does it still work, or are you saying yes, you still use it? Oh, I missed your text this morning, Jill. Sorry about that. Isn't that what Eternal is? Yes, there's another one as well. There's more than one. There's more than one super box, but super box is just one of them. Wow. Hold on. Let me look this up. Super box. No. Oh, so Kathy says it's still working. So in other words, this right here only caught one network, one bot or two bot networks that are doing this. That is interesting. Well, I guess I'm not buying it then. Hey, anyways, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for texting me. Oh, Becky's super box is shut down. You got to be kidding me. So your super box is no longer working. Try rebooting it. Maybe it'll tap into the other networks that are working. Because Kathy says hers is still working. Which one do you have? Do you have the S6 or S7, Kathy? Which one do you have, Becky? The S6 or the S7? I almost bought it yesterday. I almost pulled the trigger. Oh, I'm glad I didn't buy it. Anyways. Look at the CBS is laying off 6% of its staff. That's hilarious. Eat shit, CBS. Becky says she has the S6, and she says she'll try that. Try rebooting it. Meaning, China and France will work together to resolve Mideast crisis. Yeah, like you two have any sway anymore. China does because they make everything, but so Atlanta lines are long, massive lines at JFK Airport. CBS News is shutting down its radio news service after 100 years in operation. So that's the layoffs that they're talking about there. Let's see. Kathy says, I'm not sure. I think I have an extra box. You'll send. Oh, really? Well, if it still works, yeah, maybe. Perhaps, you know what to do with it. Thank you, dear. Wow. Thank you, dear. Yeah, I have to buy it now. CBS News says it's shutting down. Okay, I already read that one. Okay, cool. Well, Kathy, Becky says I have the 6. I'll try that and let you know. Cool. That's interesting. Because I skimmed this earlier. I missed that line right there when it said Android TV boxes. Right there, primarily Android TV boxes. So that's interesting. Anyways, next story. The Brits have legalized abortions up to just before birth. Yeah. That's what they're doing, guys. Anything to denigrate life. This is what communists do to make you feel worthless. They legalize something like this, and some people are going to take them up on that offer. I'm telling you, Canada, all the crown countries, Canada, the UK, they are all becoming Islamic countries now. Because guess what Islamists are not doing? They're not putting themselves down. They're fighting the fight. They're fighting for the Quran, the ridiculous sci-fi book that created a cult in which they follow. They're not doing it. They're having 6, 7, 8 kids per family, and you guys are offing yourselves. So, anyways, next story. Yesterday, Trump had a very awkward gaffe. Okay, this was during the bilateral meeting with Takaichi, and he was asked a question by the reporter about, like, why didn't you tell us that you were going to be attacking Iran? Why would we broadcast that? That's stupid. You know what I mean? But then here's that wasn't as uneloquent as my answer was. His was worse. Okay, here we go.
Of course, no. Japan and US are very.
Pay attention to Takaichi's face. It gets very awkward. Okay.
Good friend, but one question: why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much, when we go in.
So you don't want to signal too much. Probably should have stopped right there.
And we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it.
They didn't even tell, like, other U.S. government people that were outside of the little circle of trust. For example, Trader Joel Kent. Anyways, here we go. I guess he should have stopped right there, right? Watch this.
Because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan?
Oh, God. Okay, look at Takaichi's face. He's like, stop asking questions. Okay? Okay. It gets worse. Hold on. Here we go.
Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Mr. President. Mr. President. Come on. Look at her face. She's like, oh my God, I don't think that deal's happening anymore. Oh, geez. Anyways,
Okay? Right?
She look at her. She's looking at them. She's looking at them like, stop asking questions. Oh, man.
Right?
They made a deal, by the way. They're still friends. It's okay, guys. They still made a deal. Look at her face. She's like, she's mad at that question right there. They're still friends. Okay, they had dinner last night. Japan gifted the United States 250 cherry trees for the DC cherry blossom trees. And they made a new deal. I believe a Japanese company is going to be building a nuclear power plant in America. Yeah. Ooh, the kids are happy. The radioactive kids are happy.
This year, we're honored to receive an additional 250 cherry trees, and they're very big, beautiful trees from the great people of Japan in recognition of America's 250th anniversary. And they will remind every future generation of our timeless bond, and they'll be planted near and around the Washington Monument, and it's going to be something very special. They've already started the planting, but it's 250 beautiful specimen trees, and we'll get you over here. We'll check them out after they're planted. We'll get you back.
Yeah. Next story. What is this? Hold on, I got something in my eye. The Democrats' dirty war. They are apparently funding the opposition to Viktor Orban in Hungary. Yeah. This is a party that keeps telling us we need to stay out of other people's businesses. We need to stop meddling in other people's affairs. We need to not engage. We need to not deal in other people's wars. But clearly, Iran's war is our war. It's not Israel's war. It's our war. They're the ones who stole our election or contributed to it anyways. 100,000 plus Ukralne ballots applied in Iran. Okay, that's just one of many things that they do. They also provide China with very, very cheap oil illegally so that they can have money to fund ballot harvesting and fund Code Pink, things like that. Okay, Iran is absolutely our war. But the leftists keep saying, oh, we should mind our own business and stop tinkering in other countries. Meanwhile, here they are funding the opposition for Viktor Orban in another country, in another continent, further than Iran is to us. Yeah. Yeah. So when they tell you that, when they try to moral fag and be like, oh yeah, it's the right thing to do is to stay out of other people's businesses and let their countries be their countries. Really? Then why are they coming here trying to trample on our Constitution? Why are they trying to trample on our main religion, Christianity? Why is that happening? Why don't you tell them that? Ah, dipshits. Next story. Oh, some celebrity gossip. There's someone named Taylor Frankie Paul. She is apparently on a TV show, I think The Bachelorette. And a video leaked of her attacking the shit out of her husband in front of their child.
Yeah, look at you. Look. Yeah, look. This is called physical abuse.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Can I just say, we should be allowed to boop you in the stomach. Okay, not when they're pregnant, obviously, but just a quick pah like that. Oh, they'll lose their breath real quick, and then you'll save their face. There will be not a lot of evidence to show, right? Just a lot of vomit everywhere.
Yeah, see, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do. Holy shit.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Let me go. Stop. Dude, leave me alone.
Oh, throwing chairs. That's her daughter right there.
Your daughter is right here.
Well, she doesn't care. She does not care if the daughter gets hurt.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, they dropped her from the show, by the way. Eat shit, you toxic woman. See, this lines up very well exactly with the whole Princess of Norway story we covered at the beginning of the show. Women are god awful these days. This is who they really are. Okay, just like that Mexican girl I told you that I was dating for a little bit. Same shit. She probably would have been exactly like this if had I let it get worse. It would have become like this. See? Well, I'm telling you, once you start detecting these little red flags about people, you know, their personality changes from person to person. That's gone right there. Okay, she's probably just like that, by the way. Around her first, she's like, "Oh, how you doing? I like your new scarf. It looks so nice. Yeah, I'm a victim. I got verbally abused yesterday." Yeah, telling you, this is why we've stopped. You know, that channel Taylor the Fiend. Literally, him and Lady J, by the way, Lady Letter J, they have channels where they scour TikTok and the internet for videos of women being women, modern women being modern women, and they rebuke them and they rebuttal them, which, by the way, they get strikes for. By the way, you're not allowed to criticize women at all. But anyways, they rebuke them and what they have to say about how relationships are and what they're supposed to be. And one of the complaints they're all having for the past 2 years is that no one approaches them anymore. Yeah. No one approaches us anymore because you're all like this. All of you. Why would we approach you? We're having a much better time watching your eggs rot. We really are. It's a good time. Yeah. Anyways, next story. Police in Atlanta are receiving mass applause after announcing that they will arrest and charge parents of teens caught engaging in the planned teen takeovers this weekend in their city. Yeah, apparently there are major Facebook groups that are organizing it. They're going to do massive street, not even just a street takeover, but a literal whole streets, downtown area, whole takeovers. And they're actually going to go after the parents now. Good stuff. Yeah. Look, the kids are happy because they're not going after the kids, right? Because you can't charge them. What do you do with kids? You arrest the kids and they get day camp and juvie for a couple of months and then they're out. Yeah. So here's them making an announcement.
What charges could they face if they are not aware or just let their kids be a part of this?
In certain circumstances, there are avenues that we can take, and we plan on exploring every avenue involved in these takeovers. And yes, in some cases, it would involve charging parents.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Next story. This is a car that's on fire in the Lincoln Tunnel, New York. Holy crap. Hold on, let me redo that. This is a car that's on fire in a tunnel. Let me redo that again. This is a car that's on fire in the Lincoln Tunnel, New York. Yeah. That is awful. Okay, if you don't know about concrete, okay, if you burn concrete enough, it cracks, it fractures. This is a tunnel. It is underwater right now. Yeah. This tunnel may have to be shut down and rebuilt now. Oof. I wonder if that's an electric car. It doesn't look like an electric car fire, but I'm not sure. I can't believe you guys are just like meandering underneath there. I mean, once you start hearing like explosions, okay, and I'm talking about from the concrete. Yeah, it does that, by the way. Cured concrete, when you heat it, right, the gas pockets expand and it fractures, it cracks the concrete. So if you heat up concrete like this, you actually have to rebuild all of it. You can't just like, oh, put a little glue, you know? Yeah. Anywho. Next story. This is a concert in the UK. Apparently this guy is a rapper. He wanted to, hold on. This is a concert in the UK. This rapper passed out while being dangled by some, I don't know why you're doing this for. He drops his mic and he's dead. I'm kidding, he's alive. But he passed out. Apparently whatever harness he was wearing was cutting off the blood circulation. Whatever harness he was wearing was cutting off the circulation to vital parts of him, and he passed out. So I don't know why you would do this. There's nothing elegant about this. Have you seen what Cirque du Soleil does? I mean, you hear just like, oh, I'm a piñata, someone hit me. But yeah. Anyways, good stuff. He's fine. Oh, by the way, they give refunds to everyone. They're like, sorry for the death show. Here's your money back. Anyways, All right, guys. The last one, can't talk about it on YouTube because it involves AI and their opinion on jabs and AUTs. Okay, so I'll see you guys over on Rumble. You guys know where to go. Aside from that, I've got 2 other channels, Frank's Funny Shorts as well as Frank's Show Clips. Links to both of those in the description. Please give those a follow, support those channel, watch every video, watch the whole video, give it a like, share it out, things like that. You can hype the video as well. That'll help me out. And let's get this show on the road. Yeah? Because if this channel doesn't start moving, I'm going to have to reappropriate my crypto channel to this one. So, anyways, we'll see you guys over on the Rumby. Have a good one. Guys, remember, Cash App, buy me a coffee, subscribe to on Patreon, or ways you can support the channel. You can also become a member like JD Scarecrow there. You can also become a member on Rumble like Jillian there. Look at that. It's $3 a month on YouTube, which is 10 cents a show, or you can do it on Rumble for $5 a month, and you get access to our Rumble Premium Hangouts where we talk about food and pets. So see you guys over there. You can also do that over on Rumble on Foxhole, by the way. You get a name tag. Ina's a member. It says Frank's Hens. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mia Tua. Thank you for the donation. You're awesome. And thank you, Ina, for being a member over on Foxhole. The membership name is called Frank's Hens. That's hilarious. Kathy came up with that name, by the way. Kathy, the firefighter from Florida. Anyways, YouTube, have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If you don't make it over to Rumble. But I hope you will get there because this last one's pretty interesting. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a good day.